uiteindelijk als vierde, maar wel weer achter Mika Hakkinen. Daar was hij niet blij mee. Lange tijd was het Eddie Irvine die het veld aanvoerde. Ook hij reed weinig rondjes over de hele dag, maar 10, eentje meer dan Michael Schumacher. Positief van de vrijdag was het feit dat Alessandro Zanardi de hele dag in de top 5 bivakkeerde. Sterker nog, hij eindigde de dag zelf als vijfde nadat hij lange tijd snelste geweest was. En dat had hij nog niet eerder meegemaakt. Wellicht een keerpunt voor deze Italiaan in Engelse dienst. Schumacher dan met een van zijn weinige snelle rondjes, maar het was wel meteen de snelste van de dag. Als enige duikte hij in de 1.17's. En ze hebben een tijd van 1.17.912 de trend. Op het moment dat Mika Hakkinen en Coulthard, met z'n tweeën alweer in de pitbox staan, toch wel wat gedesillusioneerd, want Ferrari leek uitermate sterk. 196,3 km per uur gemiddeld. Daarna die 5 Frensen goed terug op plaats 6. Knap op dat rondje van Alesi 7, Barrichello 8. Dan Ralf Schumacher en de jarige Herbert op plaats 10. Daarachter zien we Wurz, Hill, Fisichella, Villeneuve, Trulli, Panis. Eigenlijk weinig echt nieuws onder de zon daar. Zonta 19e, Takashi 20e. De laatste twee zijn Badour en Gené. De interviews na afloop. We beginnen vandaag met Eddie Irvine.
Hi Eddie, well the test indicated you were going to be quick here, first and second on the Friday.
Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. The car's totally changed from the test. The wind has changed direction, and now you might as well not test it, to be honest, because the car's totally different.
Yeah, that's just the wind though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just it's a bit stronger and it's just come around a little bit. So some corners you've got a lot of oversteer the way you had none before, and some corners you got a lot of understeer. So there's not really a lot you can do about it.
Being where you are on a Friday must be positive.
Oh yeah, I think we're looking reasonably good here. Although Friday's always Friday and Saturday's a different day, but hopefully the wind just changes back to the way it was in the test, because our car was a lot better during the test.
Vervolgens Alessandro Zanardi.
What's your feeling on being fifth on Friday then, Alex?
I think it'd be nice to keep that place, but it's going to be very tough. I think we ran early this morning when other people were waiting in the garage, and we got probably the fastest time of the day, and we're going to improve the car if we want to keep our number 5 car place there.
But fifth is better than you've been before, so it must be a little bit more positive then.
Oh, at one point I was first in the monitor. I asked one photographer, a friend of mine, to take a picture of it.
Right. Good luck at the dog test.
Thanks. Well, I hope I don't need anyway.
Na zijn crash in Canada, Frensen weer terug, knap zesde.
Oh, I have to say one thing. I mean, it's not an advantage if you don't test. Last week I couldn't test because I had to still stay in bed. There's a lot of information was still missing for me. For example, you put new tires on, and there are different tires on the car than on our tires. So basically the work on qualifying run, we couldn't have done it, and we can't do it as well this time because we have to save the tires for the race. So, well, running a little bit out of time.
Mika Hakkinen probeerde sneller te zijn dan onze razende reporter.
So, you can't be happy with Friday then?
Well, yes and no, basically. I think car was running reliably all the time, and the mechanics did the brilliant work, changing the setup all the time. Finishing third in terms of today, not a disaster, of course not. But still, we have some handling problems what we need to understand and solve as soon as possible.
It looks pretty good through the quick chicane, by the way.
Does it?
Yes, it does. Compare it to other cars.
Yeah, alright. Well, make me feel better now, thanks.
De heksenjacht in Frankrijk op doping is ook bij de Formule 1 toegeslagen. 7 man moesten zich bij de dooptest melden. Wij praten erover met Alexander Wurz.
You've done cycling, you've done Le Mans, you've been in Formula 1. You know what's on the list or not?
Yes, I know what's on the list. There's an awful lot of stuff on the list. Apart from big medicines, which you just have to take when you're really ill. There are also some crazy things on, like maybe you know ginseng. It's a thing which you can have sometimes in tea or whatever. It's a modern thing coming from China. And this is on the doping list, so you shouldn't go for this chewing gums and whatever, but this is inside, because can already create some problems. But normally, the only thing I took last week, because I had a flu, I took some vitamin C
he might need some drugs to keep fit then.
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's once a year basically, the drug test, isn't it? Do you think it should be more because of what happens in the cycling, and it's in France as well?
Well, the question is if it helps you here in Formula 1. I think not so much. Okay, to keep the concentration for so long.
It's 3 years now since I was involved with it. To being away from it now. So now I'm really a very contented tourist and happy to go to 5 or 6 Grand Prix a year and just enjoy it from the outside.
Have you fully recovered from all the illnesses and things?
Yeah, and now I'm still on chemotherapy for the cancer that I've got, but it seems to be keeping me alive.
De humor die alleen een echte chic Engelsman kan hebben. Minder chic ging het bij Villeneuve aan toe. Weer Honda ging totaal niet. Zondag 21ste, Villeneuve 14e en dus niet tevreden. Maar er was een reden. Het had overigens weinig met grip te maken.
It's not a question of grip or no grip, it's more a question of the precision of the driving, and these cars have lost compared to the past a lot of precision in the way you drive them, and that's what's not nice.
Where does it go from here? Does it pick up a lot of grip? Does it change the setup of the car a lot?
It picks up a lot of grip during the weekend because the way the asphalt is, it really rubbers in. It's a bit like Monaco.
Altijd duidelijk en zeer uitgesproken Jacques Villeneuve. Dat is ook zijn baas, Greg Pollock.
Craig, long-term engine deal, long-term deal with Jack, I suppose things can only get better.
Well, it's a long-term project, so we tend to try and sign up long-term deals. Certainly where we are in the paddock, we're 11th in the championship from last year, and we're sitting 5th so far this year, and it's going to be a hard struggle to get any better. But long-term, that's the way we're thinking.
How important was Jacques to the long-term picture?
I think it's extremely important. I mean, certainly for myself, it's taken a lot of weight off my shoulders because if you don't have a top driver, it's very, very difficult to get the results. And we see it as we go up the paddock with the red team and the silver team. So for me, I think it was important, and certainly even for sponsorship, it consolidates our package in that area as well.
If you look back, if you know what you're going to be up against to start a Formula 1 team and to be successful, would you have started it, or would you just be managing drivers?
Of course I wouldn't be starting again. If I had the choice, I think it was a fantastic challenge, but it's not something I really want to do again. It really hit home. I've started up businesses, but I've never started up a business like this, and it just makes you respect the people who are further up the paddock even more.
Al dus Greg Pollock, waar ik denk dat we in de toekomst nog best wel veel van zullen horen, want hij heeft zijn zaakjes redelijk oké voor elkaar. En die Irvine dan, terug, blond en al. Maar wat apart was, is dat ze op het rechte stuk iets raars deden met de Jaguars. Op het rechte stuk, zowel Johnny Herbert als Eddie Irvine zetten de auto op start-finish in neutraal. En dat komt dan zo. Hopla, doodse stilte en ze lieten de auto uitrollen. Allard dus op zoek naar antwoorden.
Why did you switch it off down the straight?
Because we were doing something. We were just checking. We're just checking something.
Like?
It's not for me to know, you to find out.
For the rest, it seemed to be a positive day.
I think this race will be good. You know, once we put downforce in this car, it's all right. When we go to Hockenheim, Spa, Monza, we're going to struggle like hell.
Softest tyre?
Yeah, I'd say so. No reason not to go with it.
Fair enough.
Later zou blijken dat ze de rolweerstand van de beide auto's wilden vergelijken. Als er een baan is waar sommige auto's niet goed gaan, zijn er ook altijd auto's die wel goed gaan. En een van die auto's was de BMW Williams F1. Een 8e plaats voor Jensen Button en een mooie 7e plaats voor Ralf Schumacher. Gerhard Berger over hoe het tegenwoordig gaat.
Friday next, the most important thing is to do some setup work for the race for the Sunday. That's what we did, or that's what we always do on Friday anyway. But on the back side on this, it's very important to find the rhythms, to find your rhythm for the weekend, and that we find quite good this weekend.
As a former driver, I mean, not long ago you were racing these cars. You must have input at BMW and Williams running the team. Where does your input stop?
Well, obviously there is a lot of, on my side, a lot of experience from another side, from the driver's side. And of course it's always important to make the input on the and sometimes my input is useful, sometimes it's not, because it depends what it is. But yeah, I see there is some input, and I'm quite happy to give some. That's why I'm here.
Is there anything you say, like, if I'd known that as a driver, that maybe that is not possible, you would have done different in the past?
Yeah, I was thinking sometimes if I would have the experience what I did the last 1.5 years, if I would have this in my driver career, it would change few things what I did.
En ik was duidelijk, Berger had wat meer moeite met zijn Engels als toen hij nog racete. Dan gaan we naar Jarno Trulli. De kleine Italiaan deed het weer goed.